Hi guys, I'm Tania and today I'm going to be sharing with you a testimony, about the love and the mercies of God that are evident in my life and about how I found Christ in a very lost and broken place. Actually, I believe Christ found me in a very lost and broken place. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3:22 tells us that because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassion never fails. And I believe that my life reflects this, and the story that I'm about to tell you reflects this as well. Growing up in church, I was always a church girl. I got saved at the age of 7, and I have been saved since that time. And I was always very active in church. I got active in the dance group, I was active in singing. I love singing, I love dancing. I was basically just anywhere and everywhere that I could have been at my particular age. And I remember when I got to my teenage years, I was about 15, 16 at the time. I was in grade 11. I was just about to do CXCs. If you're from Jamaica or if you're from the Caribbean, you know that CXC is a big thing, right? So it was really a big thing for me. At that time, I was on the brink of my teenage years, so I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil and stuff like that, and I wasn't comfortable in talking to anybody about it. I remember that things got so bad at home that my mother actually said to me that, Tania, let me just pull you from this dancing thing for a while, because you're always at church, you're always involved in those things, but when you come home, you're crying yourself to sleep. Let me pull you from this. However, she never understood how much dancing meant to me at the time. And I remember after being pulled from dancing, I completely lost it. I lost it completely. I fell into depression so deeply because I felt like, if you know me, you know that dancing is my heart. I dance every day. If I can't sing, if I can't pray, if I can't do anything else, I can dance my heart out. And I felt like them taking that from me was them taking the only way I could actually communicate to God in that time from me. So I fell into depression. And when I say deep depression, I mean really, really deep depression. I remember my mother went away a little while after that, and I stopped attending church. I stopped going to church, and people would say, Tania, what's happening with you? Why aren't we seeing you at church? Why aren't we seeing you at dance practice? Why aren't you involved in, because I would lead praise and worship. I would sing and praise, sing on the choir. I'd be in the music room. I was not seeing any at all. And my excuse at that time was, I'm studying. I have CXC to do. I'm busy studying. Which was a lie. At that time, I was actually falling away from Christ. I felt like I was so depressed that it consumed me to the point of where I never even wanted to go to church anymore. And I remember I stopped attending church altogether, and all I would just cry. I started self-harming myself. I was just doing a bunch of stuff because at that time I felt so broken. I was so lost. So many things were going on and I did not understand any of it. But we understand that nothing is able to separate us from the love of God, and it does not matter how far we think that we have fallen. He's always there just in time to pick us up. I remember the last time I danced, it was a dance practice, and I was at church that night, and I remember I danced and I cried because I was like, this is the last time I'm ever going to be dancing for a very long time, and I just feel like I'm losing myself, right? And I remember after dancing, I broke down, and my dance teacher said to me, Tania, there are 2 angels here waiting on you. Are you going to give them the attention, give them the time of the day to heal you and so on? And I remember I looked at the altar and I saw 2 angels with 2 horns full of oil, and they were there just saying, Tania, come, we're here to heal you, we're here to deliver you from what you're going through. And at that time, I felt like I have fallen so far from God that there's no way that God could ever want anything to do with me after that. So I walked away, and I remember I walked out of the church and I watched the angels watch me walk out of the church, and I cried all the way home. And I'm like, I don't think I can do this church thing anymore. I'm so broken, I'm so messed up. And when you fall, I started attending church, I started to do a whole bunch of other things. Yes, I was drinking, I was doing all of that stuff. All of that stuff I can think about. I was bad, I was ungodly, that was unbecoming of a Christian. I was doing it. And I'm like, God doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. You know, I'm lost. I'm a lost girl, and I don't know what's happening. So I'm not going to play church. I took God very seriously. I took church really seriously. So I was like, I'm not going to play church. So I made it up in my mind, and I said, I'm going to church one last time. And I remember I went to church one last Sunday. I went to church really early. I don't go to church early, but that Sunday morning I was at church really early. And I remember it was consecration time, and I went up to the altar and I started praying, and I said, Lord, I want to thank you for your goodness. I want to thank you for your mercies. You've been a really good God to me, and I'm undeserving, but I'm not going to play any church with you. I'm not going to pretend as if